Peace and welcome into the latest and the greatest episode of Men of a Certain Age, The Soup. As always, I'm Frobo. I got my man Panero with me and my man back on the scene. Peace to the gods. How you?
I can't complain, man. As you can tell, last week we had a wonderful 30-plus year reunion for my
30.
30, yeah, right?
30 plus years, man.
30 plus years. Yeah, man, we're getting there. So it was good to have fellowship and fraternity and see the brothers and get reinvigorated, re-energized, and refreshment. It was very much a very fulfilling experience. But I'm glad to be back in the saddle with y'all. I heard y'all gave me a shot last week. Last week my voice was gone, but your boys back in the building, man. I'm glad to be back with y'all boys. Happy Sunday. Let's get it.
Shout to Blue. Pete, what's up with you, Pete?
My guys, welcome back, Don. Yo, listen. I was taking a point reduction course last night on the laptop because of the speeding joint.
Driver, don't stop at all.
You know what I'm saying? Get that 4 points off. So look, I put some background music in the background, some Tony Soprano, and then I just threw that on. Man, that shit took forever. I'm like, yo, maybe it'd take an hour and a half. Man, Metal Soprano was in high school by the time I finished, man. She was groaning in them off. What time is it, man? You know what I mean? But yeah, I'm good though, man. I got my points reduced. I got to send that to my insurance company to try to save me some cash around here, man.
That sounds like grown man BI right there.
Let's get it.
That's what that sounds like to me, man. It's good to see my brothers, man, on this good Sunday morning, this football Sunday morning. We got the low on a nooner, man. It's been a couple weeks since the Bills has had a nooner.
Yeah.
Nooner down here for me, y'all. 1 p.m. for my brothers on the East Coast. You know what I mean? Yeah, man. How y'all feeling about this game this afternoon, man? With the 716ers.
What you think, Don?
9.5 points says it all. I'm glad. I think it's a trap game. We really should blow these boys out the water. But I think everybody's a professional, so you never know what's going to happen when people actually put a suit up and strap them helmets on. But I anticipate a Bills beatdown today.
Word. Fuck the Titans. Mari Cooper.
Say word.
I'm loving him. I'm loving Amari on Madden, yo. I am loving him on Madden. Believe me, I am.
It's like a full circle for your boy. It's like the hometown versus where I put it down. Nah, well, man, the game is in. It's in the house. It's at the crib.
Yeah, it's at the crib.
Oh, it's at the crib? I thought it was at the joint.
No,
That's
it's not.
another reason why we should win. Come on, man.
Yeah, it's over. It's over.
Exactly. If it was down here in Nashville, believe me, the Mafia would be out heavy down here in Nashville.
Yeah.
It's a white man's Atlanta. You know what I mean? And that's word to Big Bird on everything, man. But again, as I said, it's good to see y'all, man. We got a lot to build on, but y'all know it is, how many days is it?
14 in the wake up, baby.
14 days in the wake up until election day, man. So we got a lot to build on in this particular episode of The Soup, man. Welcome in. Please share, subscribe, and comment down low. And what we need them to do, Lord?
Hit that notification bell so you can get that hot soup on Wednesday, fam.
That's what it is. So this week, man, we had VP Harris making a special guest appearance on Fox News. She had to go show her womanhood and let her know she's standing on business. Had to go right to the jungle and set it straight. She also sat down with Charlamagne the God. I was interested to see how Charlamagne was going to play it. Was he going to be the asshole that he normally is, or was he going to be respectable to the Madam VP? Also, man, we got the God who has added some extra preservatives to the soup. We got Lord Jamar back in the soup again this week.
Incredible, this guy.
So we got to cook him up real nice and marvelous. Like we also, man, had Donald Trump made an appearance on Fox News, man. And he was talking about, unbeknownst to him, talking about Project 2025 right out of his mouth.
Right out his pie hole.
Right out his pie hole, Lord. And then also, man, in the hood news, we got Big Meech is back on the bricks. Obviously, we don't condone brothers being locked down for massive years unless they are worthy of being locked down for massive years. Been a lot of glorification for this cat coming back, and I want to build with y'all on that and see how y'all feel about that. Don, You set it off this week. You started it off with us for this week when the state of Georgia started early elections.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia, they did their thing, man. If you look at this clip right here, they shattered the first day voting records of 100,000 ballots cast so far in the heated contest. When you was out there and casting your vote, what was the mood? How was the feel out there in the street?
I actually came right out of traffic and did it on Tuesday. I think 45 was here on Tuesday. He had a couple of appearances. So when I got out of traffic, I was already upset, and I definitely wanted to vote. I hopped out of traffic, man. Actually, the polling place was in downtown East Point, which is about a mile from my house, maybe a mile from my house. I went down there, I pulled in. And actually, I went to the wrong polling place first because I'm used to going to my usual joint. And they told me that, no, I need to go to the early ballot board joint. So I went over there, which wasn't too far. But for someone who was mobily restricted, it would be something that it would be cause a problem. You know what I mean? But I bent a couple of corners, went over there, man. I parked. Literally, I went in, gave them my ID. They scanned my ID, make sure it was right. Gave me my card, went in, boom, went, did my thing. Got out. I literally was in and out in probably 3 minutes at the most. Yeah, at the very most, because my mind was made up. I knew I was voting for president. So I said in the local elections, I just had to look at the initiatives and think about those. But it was cool, man. It was pretty seamless. But like I said, I know that there may be a problem for people who don't have transportation, because I know they cut down a lot of polling sites down here.
The polls open here in Nashville on Wednesday. So I went out and voted Wednesday morning.
Yes,
and to my local library and put my vote down. As you said, Don, I went in with my ID, gave them my ID. They scanned it. They gave me my little ballot and whatnot. So I made my way over to the voting machine, right? I'm going through my list of candidates, right? So the first thing you saw was Trump and Vance. And then under Vance and Trump was VP Harris and Tim Walz, right? So locally, here in Tennessee, there's voting with Johnson. She was one of the three state senators who were expelled from the Tennessee State House.
The white chick.
So her last name is Johnson. So she's running against Senator Asha Blackburn. I'm saying this to say, when I clicked on Johnson, boom, Blackburn lit up as the selection.
Multiple complaints from voters who say when they selected a candidate, the machine jumped and highlighted another. It's happening in Davidson County, too.
So if you put it on here, sometimes you can get it, and sometimes it flips up to the one above it because you're touching that line.
So I'm like, what? If I wasn't paying attention on my square, I would have left it as Blackburn being my selection. So I switched it back, obviously, because I caught it. I'm saying all of this to say later on that evening, my sister sends me a text, whereas it was going around the city that this was happening.
Wow.
This was actually clicking on Johnson, and Blackburn was like, so I'm thinking to myself, I'm like, yo, that's crazy. And when it happened to me, I just calmly just corrected it, not to even think that this is out of the ordinary for this to actually be happening.
That's wild.
How many people who actually didn't catch it clicked on Johnson and Blackburn was selected? Man, I'm saying that to say that they're already doing some foxy shit.
Let me ask you this: do you guys use voting machines that you stick the card in, right, and then thing pop down? Do you guys get a chance to review your selections at the end of it?
Absolutely.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
Even before I got to that part, I caught it. You know, immediately after, because I'm like, yo, there's no way that this Blackburn should have turned green because I selected Johnson.
That's wild.
You know what I mean? So, like I said, after I did it, it didn't dawn on me that, yo, this is some foxy shit going on. Then, like I said, my sister sent me the text, and then I saw it on the news later on that week that it was a whole bunch of people complaining about it. Man, we've talked over and over of how we feel about the election and what we thought could or might happen. Man, y'all know me. I'm super skeptical, man, and it's like the lengths they went to last year to try it. Not last year, but the last time to try to overturn it. It ain't no telling what type of shit they would try to pull out up here, now around here. When they start early voting up there in the NY up there,
They haven't started yet, but there have been people around actually trying to, like, there were people at my job, local, trying to get their people to vote for them. And you know how they actually go around trying to advertise themselves, but it hasn't started as of yet. But I have a polling place right around the corner from my house I can walk to. It's like a community center.
Good.
And it's real quick and easy for me. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait to get my vote in.
I know you can do it.
Yeah.
That's what's up. But as we speed towards the election, how many days is it?
14 in the wake up, my man.
Wow.
14 in the wake up, man, until the realism and the ism pops off. Shout out to OD. You know what I'm saying? I want to bring it back to this, man. So this week, VP Harris, man, she went into the Lion's Den. And when I'm talking about the Lion's Den, man, she went and hollered at that cat, Brett Baer, over there at Fix News. You know, and we talked about earlier in the election season how they were all talking about, oh, she's not doing interviews, she's not sitting down and talking to folks. And now she's everywhere, from Fix News to rapping with the Breakfast Club to shouting out Howard Stern. So she's been, and she's gonna do a town hall this week with your man Jake Tapper for CNN. And so they have so much bullshit with them, and so the focus has turned to us black men, and we're gonna get into that a little bit later on, man. But first thing I want to do is this. I want to play a little clip of the Madam VP splitting Brett Baer's head wide open. So let's get to that real quick.
The first bill, practically within hours of taking the oath, was a bill to fix our immigration system.
Yes, ma'am. It was called the U.S. Citizenship Act of 2021.
Exactly.
It was essentially a pathway to citizenship for the. Yes, ma'am.
May I finish responding, please?
But
you have to let me finish.
You
please.
have the right.
Well, first of all, turning the page from the last decade, in which we've been burdened with the kind of rhetoric coming from Donald Trump that has been designed and implemented to divide our country and have Americans literally point fingers at each other. Brett, I'm sorry, and with all due respect, that clip was not what he has been saying about the enemy within that he has repeated when he's speaking about the American people. That's not what you just showed.
He was asked.
No, that's not what you just showed. In all fairness and respect to you,
that was the question that we asked him.
You didn't show that, and here's the bottom line. He has repeated it many times, and you and I both know that. And you and I both know that he has talked about turning the American military on the American people. He has talked about going after people who are engaged in peaceful protest. He's talked about locking people up because they disagree with him. This is a democracy.
So yeah, man, VP Harris in the Lion's Den, you see from the jump off, this man did not want her to articulate her points at all. It's like soon as she started talking, he's trying to counter what she's saying, and she hasn't even finished her sentence. How much of this Brett Baer Fix News interview did you catch, Lord?
I caught a lot of clips of it, and I think what he was doing by interrupting her was he didn't want to allow her expertise to be shown to his viewers. You fucking with a heavyweight here, bro. She ain't no just anybody, man. You know what I'm saying? She has a political science degree. She has an economics degree. She has a Juris Doctorate. Like, you're not fucking with just anybody. It's not like Trump who'll sue the school that's going to show his GPA. You know what I mean? Like, she's a prosecutor. You're not going to sit her down and try to talk over her. You know what I'm saying? It's going to make you look foolish. And I think later on, he actually went on, I don't know what show it was, or he had an interview where he admitted to putting the wrong clip on because she caught his ass. You know what I'm saying? This is the new president, man. It's a wrap. They might as well go ahead and concede the election. It's over, man.
It's a reason why I call it Fix News.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? VP Harris on Fix News, UA?
Yeah, I like the fact that they talking all that nonsense about her not wanting to show her face and her being scared and her run, ducking, and hide and whatever. But she goes to places that 45 would never go. You know what I mean? She's 45 is not going to MSNBC under no circumstances. And 45's he bullied the anchor on CNN. You know what I mean? The young white chick, he beat her up, and she was actually leaning more towards him. If you think about it, when he did his town hall with CNN earlier this year, I'm glad to see that she showed that she's got the courage, she's got the strength, and she's got the know-how to go in there and successfully maneuver and hopefully gain some voters who are on the fence. What I did appreciate the most about her is that when he tried to drop so you think that these people are stupid for voting for Donald Trump?
Right.
You said, no, I don't think that they're stupid. They're Americans.
Yeah.
But blah, blah, blah. So there was a lot of attempted gotcha moments that he tried to hit her with that she just was too slick. She was slicker than a can of oil out there on that dude, man. I loved it.
He was trying to make her call American people deplorables. He was trying
deplorable, stupid. She wasn't going for it, man. She is a tactician, a verbal gymnast, and I loved it. And just hopefully the country, like we've done our part already. Obviously, D, you got to wait a little bit. But, you know what I'm saying? Really get out there and vote, because you see what this dude and his minions are clowns, to say the least.
Like here in New York State, it has to be 10 days before the election before you can vote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You guys, you nailed it. For her to sit up there and be poised, and then when she rightly defends herself, they try to pull the card, the angry black woman. So it's 2 weeks ago, she wasn't black. You get up there and have your man turning red and leaning forward. Now she that angry black woman.
Exactly.
Kamala Harris is built for this moment, man.
Man, come on, man.
Let's go.
We've already discussed it and dissected it. She is the most qualified person ever to run for the seat of the presidency.
Agreed.
Hey, Don, you can probably appreciate this. One of her sorority sisters said when she was online, they called her Triple C.
What's the triple?
She was always calm, cool, and collected. You know what I'm saying? That was her online name, Triple C. So, you know what I'm saying? She ready, man. It's time. It's time to turn the page.
It's truly amazing. And we live, no matter how much it has done to our people over the years, there's still no other place that I would rather live. I'm going to speak for me. I can't speak for y'all. You know what I mean? And in saying that, one of our treasures is Saturday Night Live.
Oh, wow.
Saturday Night Live did a spoof on this little interview between Mr. Brett Baer and VP Harris. Let's take a quick look at that and get a little chuckle this morning.
Briefly died from COVID, one of the great hoaxes started by Joe Biden, the Biden crime family, right? Families are disappearing. Kids are going back to school and they're coming back a different gender. They're going to Zoltar's and they're coming.
So we're gonna leave it there with SNL on an American. Now, you guys saw earlier this week when 45 was at the rally, and then he didn't want to take any more questions, and he just told the DJ to stop spinning, and he was standing up there just swaying. We talk weekly, fellas. We talk weekly about the media. What the hell kind of coverage would Joe Biden have gotten?
Man, come on.
He done that exact same thing, UH.
Just imagine the coverage Kamala Harris would have got. If she would have done that, if she would have sat up there and danced for literally 45 minutes. Just think about it. Like, as a black person, she can't afford to dance for 2 seconds. You know what I'm saying? Number one, she might get up on stage, blah, blah, blah. But you know what I'm saying? If you notice, even in her hip hop type appearances, she really hasn't been too, you know what I'm saying, all into it. She's been more conservative, more, what's the word I'm looking for? Composed is the word. Exactly. She's not letting herself get carried away. And this idiot, 2 people fall out in his speech after 4 questions, and he's, you know what? Fuck it. DJ, Drop some of these boys, you know what I'm saying? And then he came back, he's, yo, I need the remix. Bring me the Pavarotti remix for the joint. Man, come on, this dude is a clown. He's a charlatan. He's a fool. He's out of touch. He's delusional. He's bordering on senile. Get this dude out of here.
So with all of that being said, this election, once again, it boils down to, are you racist, misogynist, or not? Another thing I wanted to talk to y'all about, this nigga Elon Musk.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying? Anytime I see a Tesla, I feel a way. You know, and it's a lot of those super trucks or whatever they call cyber trucks. Right? In on a daily, right?
Big ass go-kart.
Yeah.
Can openers.
A fucking
can opener.
A can opener. What was those joint? A protractor. Looked like
on wheels.
Yeah, man. Exactly.
A protractor.
I'm getting at, man, is this. Don't y'all find it strange that a South African, exactly, that's what it is right there, Lord. That's exactly
a protractor. Boy, Willie put out a protractor on that ass. They're doing D.
I like my sharp edges, fam.
I see clearly. Damn.
Salute.
Word.
Don't y'all find it funny that a South African, somebody that's not even American, is having his hands so much in our election, man? You see this latest stunt that he pulled about signing up for whatever his register is? He's giving out $1 million a day, like a lottery, to whoever signs his petition.
Elon Musk vowing to give away $1 million every day to a randomly selected voter who signs a petition that's circulated by his super PAC.
But he's getting people to sign up for it, and he's gonna give out $1 million every day to one lucky person signing his petition. At some point, man, we got to get this type of stuff under control. How you feel about this South African playing such a major part in our elections, yo?
It's just because he's white. He's white, so white people feel like they can identify with him solely on the basis of him being white and rich. There's no reason for him to be involved in anything that has to do with the elections. You know what I'm saying? That's like tampering. What are you doing? You're not even from here, B. You know what I'm saying? You're from South Africa. And I know a few times, Les, you said you probably not thought you'd never say it, but motherfucker, go back to Africa, man. What's wrong with you, man? You know? And I think his influence, every time I see a protractor drive by, it's like somebody is telling me, you know what? I'm showing you I'm for Trump because this guy is for Trump. You know what I'm saying? And he's white and I'm white. You know what I mean? It's like you said earlier, not too long ago. What this election is boiling down to is if you're a misogynist, sexist, or you're racist, because the person that's qualified for the job just happens to be a black woman. Obviously, Trump isn't qualified. You see what he did the last time he had a term. He fucked everything up, didn't deal with COVID like he was supposed to. And now we have someone who's qualified. And if you don't vote for her, you're showing who you are. There's people that have been interviewed who said they'd vote for Putin if he was running. You know what I'm saying? Which is obviously a nemesis to the United States. These people are crazy, man. They need some psychiatric evaluations, man.
This dude who was born during apartheid, you know what I'm saying, who lived during apartheid, is having his hands directly in our elections.
Every time I see a Tesla, man, I really want to kick it. Honest to goodness. And the thing about it is that my homeboy just bought one. And I'm like, I drove it, whatever. Actually, I put it up on a joint that I drove a Tesla. Man, nice little go-kart type feel. I still would never get one. You know what I mean? Because of truly who this guy is. If you think about it, like you said, he grew up under apartheid. You know what I mean? He was raised in that system. So that's like us growing up being Buffalo Bills fan, watching the Bills every single week. We're gonna be Bills fans when we're older. Guess what he is? He's a racist.
He's a racist.
Now that he's older. And as much as I love the fact that Fro is on the X, and keeps us informed with different drops during the week. I really refuse to get on X because I refuse to support this dude. Like literally, every time I see a black person in a Tesla, I'll probably see 100 a day just because I'm in traffic. You know what I mean? I'll literally be like, yo, what is wrong with you? Why would you support this guy? You know what I mean? I think the good thing that about this is showing us who is really showing us more than anything else. I know America is going to be America. Americans going to America. And we can only have but so much control over that. But it's really showing us the black people who are really concerned about the plight of us as a whole, man. Because if you simply cannot buy another type of car, something is wrong with you. Oh, I want the bells and whistles and I want this and I want the high tech. But you know what? That man does not have any good plans for you. I saw 2 Chainz the other day at the corner of my street in his protractor. I'm like, Chainz, what is you doing, Chainz? He's like, you don't like it? Man, Chainz, you wildin', Chainz. I dipped on him. I might look like a dude in just an Acura, you know what I'm saying? Howling at a hip-hop superstar, but damn, Chainz. For what, man? This dude is obviously against us, man. I don't support him in any way, shape, or form. If I see him, I'll beat his ass.
Oh, for what? It's for a look. That's right. That's what the 4 is for. It's for
Chainz. And this dude got a mean paint job on the side. I was like, Chainz, come on, man. Because I seen it, and I think I saw him on a car show or something on YouTube. And so when I saw him, because I was coming out the liquor store, he was coming like he was just like in the turning lane where I had to turn. I saw him. Come on, Chainz. What is you doing? What is this?
Yeah, man. I'm guilty. It's a guilty pleasure of mine to Twitter, man. That will always and forever be for me. We're not fuck Elon Musk and Teslas, and for the people who are purchasing his vehicles to protect the environment, there are other electric cars that you can purchase and get down with, besides this racist ass motherfucker from South Africa. Last week, we touched a topic, and I want to get your viewpoint on that. Right. So that you met with your brothers last week, and you were around a myriad of black men. We are not a monolith. We all have our own and how we move. What was your thoughts on the real big homies message to black men? Did it offend you? Did you feel a type of way when Barack said what he said? You know, how was Blue 5 feeling about the electric?
We obviously had a discussion on this because, like I said, we covered a lot of different things in our time together. But on Sunday afternoon, when we were actually supposed to be potting, we were having a conversation about this. And I heard some people talk about policies and so on and so forth. And I just basically told them this. I said, we're black. I like you, you like me. I like who likes me. I don't like who doesn't like me. He doesn't like us. You know what I mean? So regardless of what talking points you can try to spew across to anybody at any point, he doesn't like black people and doesn't have our best interests at hand. So that's how we should look at him from a monolithic point of view, because he does not. And I think that Barack Obama really just come out and just said it. Why are you sensitive being a black man when you got rappers calling you niggas, bitches, and hoes all damn day, and fuck boys and all kinds of other stuff? But Barack get on there and tell you, listen, what are you doing? He just simply asked a question. What are you really doing? This guy is not for you. But he shouldn't talk to us like that. And he ain't do nothing for black people. And you don't know how many billions, how many millions of young black boys, girls, young men, women, older women were inspired just by his mere presence in the White House. You know what I mean? Regardless of the different types of policies, and like we always say, you can't just be a black president and do things just for black people. I found it highly offensive and, again, very divisive. And it should, all these things, these little sub-attacks they're throwing at black men should really let y'all know how important our vote is. It should really, and how important our influence is, because we've got, now every rapper wants to chime in his little 2 cents. You know what I mean? Everybody wants to have something to say, but the bottom line is that he is not on our side, period. And I don't care who Barack Obama got to tell you, Martin Luther King got to come out the grave and tell you Jesus Christ. got to come down and tell you. Muhammad got to drop. This dude, whoever tells you, they're telling you the truth. He's not for us. Simple.
Bottom line, bottom Lizzie. And I'm glad you gave that percentage. Before what would you say out of all the brothers, what was the percentage that were flowing with Harris compared to Trump?
I would say it was probably 23 of us at breakfast. I know it was 23 because I paid for it. So it was 23 of us there.
You knew how much it was, right?
Exactly. $30 a person. I know exactly how much it was. Yeah, man. I would say probably we didn't have anybody who was an ardent Trump supporter. We did have a
undecided?
No, not even undecided. We had someone who brought up different Trump policies, but obviously I would say that he was leaning Harris, but still not all the way in the bag, which I don't understand why. But then again, he's not from my chapter, so I can't take responsibility for a train of thought. You know what I mean? And plus, he's got a couple other variables that go along with that. But I would say it was probably 22 and a half out of 23, to be honest with you.
And for me, y'all, I would say generally across the board, that's the way it is.
Yeah, 80-20, right?
And especially for the people who actually vote. I don't give a damn about the people who don't fucking vote, man.
Or who can't.
And I showed y'all that I sent a tweet out about Don Lemon, and him out interviewing black men about who were they supporting. And my tweet at him was, Don Lemon, are you asking these people before you start questioning who they voting for? Are they registered to vote?
Right.
When was the last election you voted for? Before you just start just randomly running up on folks and asking them, asking them who they're gonna vote for, and then you going into certain areas where people are ill-informed. Right. And asking them this type of thing. Don, you mentioned it earlier about rappers and the things they say and the support they give. This last person made a special guest appearance in the Soup last week, and who I'm talking about is Lord Jamar. Now, again, Lord J is a person that we've grown up with. We are his age. And we saw them come through and do what they did in music. Lord Jamar has let's say, he has a place within us that we're going to listen to what he has to say. And we're going to listen to what most people have to say and then decipher whether it's some bullshit or something that I could build upon or something I can expand with. Last week, Lord Jamar was on with Art of Dialogue. Shout to Art. And during this interview, he had some more things to say about VP Harris. Let's get into Lord.
I know he went over. I know Slim Thug, he came out and he said that he only voted for Kamala because she's black. How do you feel about the people that's only voting for Kamala because she's black?
First of all, I really like Slim Thug's frame of mind most of the time. Like whenever I come across a Slim Thug meme on IG, it's always like a positive affirmation. It's something that I damn near retweet him almost every time. So let me just put that out there. But for anybody to say that they're voting strictly off of identity politics is ridiculous. Like just to vote for somebody just on the basis of their skin color is ridiculous. Yeah, we got to get past that, people. We got to get past we want to make history so bad that we just overlook what's really important. Okay? Is she really a leader? Is she really qualified to lead? That's what needs to be addressed. What are her policies? The bitch for the longest time had no policies on her website. That's another thing that is disrespectful to the people. You could just think that you're just going to tell us you're going to fix this and that. First of all, y'all are the ones that fucked it up. Everything's fucked up because of the economy. Y'all was in power. this past 4 years was y'all.
This fool.
And
Yeah.
you gonna act like you're gonna fix the very thing that you messed up? That don't make no fucking sense.
It's just gibberish with this nigga.
Yeah, just to vote for somebody just because you say she's black, and again, she's not really black.
Oh my God.
Folk are not kinfolk. Let me say it again. All skin folk are not kinfolk. Okay? So just because a motherfucker might have black skin don't mean that he thinks like you,
Exactly.
identifies
Exactly.
with you identify
It sound
with.
like he talking about himself.
So stop with this fucking bullshit. She ain't black. Okay?
Wow.
She came in as the first Southeast Asian Indian vice president. That was her fucking accomplishment. Now all of a sudden Trump said, now she's black.
He on Trump's side, for real.
Now all of a sudden she's black. But she won't say that she's black, but she's sure acting black. And y'all are the ones who are saying that she's black, because she's not even saying that. So that's what's even more ridiculous. Y'all putting that on her because you want her to be that, but she's not even saying that she's black.
That's a lie.
She's giving y'all, and she's not giving y'all anything for you saying that she's black, other than she just wants you to give her that and then give the vote, and then after that, you get nothing. Get the fuck out of here after that. So y'all go ahead and vote for idiotic reasons like she's black and see where that gets you. We did that already with Obama. I was guilty of that the first time around with Obama. Yeah, I voted for that fool because he was black. It was the dumbest shit I ever did.
And he saved the economy, too.
The dumbest shit I ever did. I hope we would learn from shit like that. Most white people, believe it or not, are not voting because of someone's skin color. Now, yeah, are
He's
there
really
white
stupid on that one.
just because
If
somebody's
he believe
white
that, he a damn fool.
and the other person, if the other person is of color, they'll just do it because they're white? Absolutely. But I don't think most of these white people are doing that.
He don't even know his own numbers. He don't
They
even
wanna,
know his own
you know,
math.
No, you don't.
Matter of fact, a lot of these white people are voting for her because they're trying to atone for some shit. They want to. They think they're virtue signaling by doing it. They think it's virtuous. Yeah, let's get a woman in there. She's black, and if I support that, then I'm a good guy. Don't vote for this woman, y'all.
Whoa.
I'm sorry, but it is what it is.
Whoa.
Trump 2024.
Whoa. Whoa.
I just said it.
So yeah, man.
Vice President Kamala Harris.
First of all, let me just say, what was that? So a damaged jean suit he had on, or used?
Candy Kanai?
Used. It was used.
Used?
Yeah, that was some diesel wear he had on. We talk about the uninformed.
Yeah.
So he just got up there and just ran off a whole bunch of bullshit. Lord JP.
Like I said last week, man, I'm a man of a certain age. I grew up on Brand Nubian. You know what I'm saying? Those were my guys. Sadat was one of my favorites. You know what I mean? But man, I don't understand why Lord Jamar is acting this way. But obviously it's for $1. And I don't know what he's spending $1 on.
No, it's for a click. It's for a click.
Clickbait, money. I don't know what he's smoking. But man, that's a lot of misinformation. First of all, when VP Harris does get elected president, she's going to be making history. He's talking about she's not qualified. She's going to be the first president to ever serve in all 3 branches of government, man. As an attorney general, you know what I'm saying, as a senator, and as a vice president. That's all 3 branches right there. So what do you mean not qualified? Because she's a woman? And I think a lot of it is a sexism and misogyny. Like, you don't want a woman leading the free world. You know what I'm saying? And like you said last week, Fro, man, show me some voter registration anyway. Lord Jamar. When did you ever? He said he voted for Obama, but did you really vote for Obama? And why are you, as a black man, spreading misinformation? You know that there's black people out there who may just hang on your every word. Not us, but somebody might walk by and hear that and be like, yeah, man, fuck that. I'm voting for Trump too. Lord Jamar will vote for Trump 2024. Come on, man. Don't do that. That's some bullshit.
How is this man going to sit up and say this woman is not qualified?
Unbelievable.
And say, I'm going to vote for Trump, the most unqualified person ever to win presidency? What are we talking about here?
We're talking about attention, man. Clearly, he just wants attention. Like you said, the clicks, the views, whatever you want to call it. I've been a fan of Brand Nubian's music. First 2 albums, crazy. Our first one, with Puba, off the charts. Second one, Wild Cowboys and all that nonsense was nice too. Punks jump up to get beat down, blah, blah, blah. So let me back it up a little bit. As y'all know, I'm a member of these guys for a long time. We actually went to Syracuse, Greek Freak. I think it was probably 95, 96, somewhere around there. And they actually performed at Greek Freak, Lord Jamar and Sadat X. The Sigmas, we had a house in Syracuse. They came to our house party. I'm an advocate. I'm saying I'm down with it. You know what I mean? So I was getting to it even back then. You know what I mean? And I seen Lord Jamar and Sadat X sitting on the steps. I was like, yo, y'all boys want some bud? They was like, Sadat was like, nah, man, I really don't smoke. Yeah, man, Lord Jamar has hit on it. I ain't fucking with y'all Greek niggas. I was like, what? I was like, okay. All right, I got you. I was like, all right, no problem. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to disrespect the man because, he's a guest in the house, but it showed me the way he thought. So I understood him thinking like that because of the fact that with the principles that he does follow, there are certain things that go along with that. And I can dig it. But for him to come 30 years now down the line, he's supposed to be older and wiser and say something that's completely off kilter, nonsensical, and honestly tricky and devilish. Because what he did is he presented facts that were not true.
Right.
He repeated lies for the sake of what? For the sake of, it must be a check in there somewhere. It has to be.
Gotta be.
It has to. It has to be something. Maybe I'll just paying this dude every time he comes on for his clicks or whatever the case may be. But that was horrible. I didn't expect it from him because I always held to the fact that even though I didn't personally rock with him, I always respected the fact that he was really high on his 5% principles. And it's no way in the world that you would support being a 5%er. I'm just looking at it from that ideological point of view. There's no way in the world that you can justify supporting a devil like Trump over a black woman, queen of the planet Earth. I don't understand it.
Unless you're a misogynist, sexist.
He proved what you just said there, P. He went out of his way to praise Slim Thug, right? Went out of his way to say, I like how he moves. I post his stuff generally all the time. But then when it got to him saying that he's supporting her because she's black, I saw that link too. Slim Thug was saying that she's black. He was voting for her because she's black, because she is. Because that was, at the time, that was the thing. Oh, she ain't black. She's Indian or whatever, South Asian. She is South Asian. She has South Asian lineage, but she is also
a black woman. Yeah.
At the end of the day, like we said last week, we didn't make these rules. The Europeans made the rules that it only took one drop of our blood in order to make you black. You know what I mean? And for him to sit up there and disparage, for what reason?
Right.
For what reason are you up there disparaging her name like that? She's unqualified. Where this lady had graduated from college, took the bar, passed the bar, DA, attorney general, senator, vice president.
Come on, how much more qualified can you be?
Can she be? At this point in time, Lord Jamar, and I'll take this from VP Harris, he's not a serious man.
No,
he's not. He is not.
He's a whore for clicks at this point. For him to sit up there and to talk the way he talked, man, let's get into this his moonwalking, his backing up.
Oh, he retracted, fam?
Yes.
Oh,
Let's get into the my Sean. Now my Sean gonna have something to say. Come out and say what he gonna say. He gonna say it from the
Department of Education closing.
Let's get into that.
Lord Jamar, somebody I have respect for, somebody I've been in proximity with, close with. The shit you just did right now was a whack shit. I don't even expect that from you. That's not even the character that I know of you. To constantly call that woman a bitch.
Word.
To double down about calling that woman a bitch because you don't like her politics. You don't know that lady. She ain't did nothing to harm you. She ain't did nothing to disrespect you. But because you don't like the way that she's running her campaign, you decide to call that woman a bitch. That's not man shit. It ain't nothing. It was nothing real about it. There's not nothing. The God, I don't even know how the gods ain't call you.
Word.
Because this goes against everything the gods in the earth represent. When we start violating women, fuck if you think she black or what? When did it be cool for you to just disrespect a woman because you don't agree with them? When did we just start getting on this internet just saying anything? Y'all taking this internet shit too far.
Word.
The internet is making you go against the man that you are. The man that I know you to be, King. This shit don't even coincide with who you are, who you present to be. So I'm just confused. So this is what we're gonna do now, because now we just gonna completely lose all our morals and integrities and shit for this internet just to go viral and all that shit. This like we just gonna everything. We gonna turn into the low vibrations. We gonna turn into the academics, and we gonna follow the blueprint of the suckers for some type of attention. Because it ain't that serious. You don't want to vote for you. I don't want to vote for. I don't think she qualified. She don't represent nothing I represent. Nobody can argue with that. Well, what she gotta be a bitch for, okay? Word. For what? When did this shit become cool? When did we start normalizing white nigga shit? When did coward culture become some shit that real adopted? Real shit. And I'm saying adopted because that's how I see you. But this shit right here, I don't even know who this is. This ain't that I was in proximity with, that I sat on stages with, that I sat in rooms with, and had real conversation with as men. So I'm just saying, maybe I'm wrong. If that's who you are, then cool. I understand who you are, and I'm just gonna separate myself from the situation. I'm just saying this: you gotta grow up. As men, this shit, we not even moving as men no more.
Word.
We not even moving as men no more. An election, just start moving as men. We have to have some level of integrity and respect for ourselves. You got a mother, you got a sister, you got all that shit. Imagine somebody just calling a bitch because they don't agree with what she said. We taking this shit too far, man. And this ain't a call out, this is a call in.
Word.
Now, I wasn't gonna really say much, but this you double down on that shit. You sound proud. And you got the little Oreo cookie girl, Candace Owens, in the back shaking her head until they start calling her bitches. See, then it's gonna change. But this is what happens. She forget when she needed the NAACP because them people disrespected her. Right? Yep. Why are we not calling these white niggas that disrespect us out their name? Why you not calling Donald Trump and them that disrespect men, black men every day out their name? Why you don't think they trying to play you when they come with the same bullshit and they feed you the bullshit that they pander to you and tell you that you don't vote for them, you need your head examined? Why you ain't calling them out their name? This shit is bigger than an election for me. It's like we losing moral fiber.
Yeah.
Like, this shit it's going too far for me, King. And I wouldn't be me if I didn't say so. If that's what y'all stance is, then cool. But we're going to have to start drawing lines in the sand because men don't move that way. A lot of men that I know that for Kamala Harris, but they ain't calling her bitches because they don't agree with her. So let's start moving like men. You don't agree with somebody, you fuck with them, you can say, I don't fuck with the person. But we can't lead with disrespect because we teaching other people how to treat us.
To treat us.
Good point. So we can't be mad when they disrespect us when we disrespect us.
To my son, man. There have been things that I have not really necessarily gone to war, but I've had Twitter spats with my son about. And not everything that he says that I agree with him on 100%. But on this thing right here, 1,000%.
Agree.
You know, and salute for him for standing up and calling him Lord Jamar on the carpet for some bullshit. We sat up here last week, P, and we said that was some sucker shit Lord Jamar was on, from calling her out of her name and being disrespectful to going on Piers Morgan suited and booted and code switching. You know what I mean? He is a panderer right now. I understand we all got to eat, and obviously this is how he's eating right now. It don't make it right, but you don't want nobody to starve. But there could be a better way for him to feed himself than to be disrespectful and disingenuous. We all know he ain't learned none of that being a 5%er.
No.
None of that. Well, not one lesson.
Speak on it, Lord.
And that's the contradiction. We grew up on Lord Jamar and Brand Nubian, and they dropped jewels for us to go study. You know what I'm saying? Older should mean wiser, but obviously he's gotten older, and either he got wise and he's ignoring it for the clicks and the money, or he just don't care, which is horrible. So it's disheartening to see someone that you feel like you grew up with because you listen to their music. And to what Don said, you can tell his character. Now, if you didn't feel the Greeks, why would that's something within you? But you don't have to come out of your mouth and say, I ain't fucking with them Greek niggas. If it's something that you feel within your religion that you feel like a person shouldn't be Greek or whatever, okay, that's personal. You don't have to come out your mouth that way. Sadat didn't come out his mouth that way. You know what I'm saying? So it's something with this dude, man, that he has some issues. He may need to seek some professional help also. Go see about yourself.
Before we transition off this Lord Jamar, man, what's your final thoughts on this?
I'm really disappointed. I'm not really disappointed, but I'm always fascinated to see which of these people, men of our age, men of a certain age, are still grasping, as Puffy would say, scraping and scrapping for attention. And I think that it shows, like my son said, a lack of integrity. It really makes me question all the lyrics that I remember from Lord Jamar. When it comes from a 5% perspective. So it's really, I don't think that he is relevant. I think he's trying to make himself or try to keep himself relevant, but that was totally unnecessary and completely unexpected.
So it's like this for me, man. Just listening to this cat these last couple weeks, it leads me to believe he got a ham sandwich in his back pocket.
Word.
You know what I mean?
I'm saying, bro.
Cooking up some spam,
man, because he ain't standing.
You're not true to it, right?
Yeah, he's not standing on nothing.
Yeah.
You know what you say? What's the term you coined?
Capitalism over community, or community over capitalism. However, in this places, capitalism over community.
Yeah.
And we see what this guy is out here doing. The last how many years of Piers Morgan or show, whatever he's been doing? When was the last time Lord Jamar was on there before this month?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Come on.
And not only does he pop up on Piers Morgan, but he pops up hard bottoms and suit jacket and collared shirts. But when he gets on the Art of Dialogue, he got the damage shoot on and his in his hat and the yada the means going. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, do what you do, man, but don't poison everybody else. Don't poison everybody because you hungry.
Right.
Because your red bones is showing and you willing to do anything to survive, man. It's disappointing. For me, it's disappointing because, like, we all know this man is supposed to be God body of the universe. And then the first thing out of his mouth is, bitch, hoe, she ain't qualified. And like my son said, you know, do you have a mother?
Right.
Do you have a daughter?
Sister.
Do you have a wisdom? How are you portraying yourself as a black man coming on a platform spewing what you spewing, and it's totally a false narrative of what he's saying? Yeah, vote for who you want to vote for, but vote for your best interest. These people running around here talking about I'm voting for Trump because when Trump was president, the money was flowing. It's like Lord Jamar sat up there talking about the economy. What the fuck he ain't studying the economy because the economy is booming.
And obviously, he ain't got a job or a 401k.
Exactly. He is out for clicks. Like I said, he got up there and just spewed a bunch of alternative facts.
Well,
A bunch of alternative facts. And as we turn the page on Lord Jamar, or should I say Lord Clickbait, let's go to Donald Trump. He made a special appearance on Fix News, and he had something to say. Should he win, what he was going to do? This man has been denying the whole time, lying. The only time he ain't lying is when he sleep. And they say he talking in his sleep, so he lying then when he talking in his sleep as well. But unbeknownst to him, he just quoted some shit straight out of Project 2025. Let's get to that real quick.
Department of Education, close it. I'm going to close it. Well, one person could be you if you decide to retire.
Okay, Mr. President, here's what bothers me about that. So let's say you have a liberal city, let's Los Angeles, San Diego, and they just decide we're going to get rid of that history. We got new history. This is America built off the backs of slaves on stolen land. And that curriculum comes in.
Then we don't send them money. We would save half of our budget. Okay. And we're going to send. But if they want to do that,
you do lose control when you go.
We've lost control. We're number 40. We're last on the list. We're the worst there is, and we spend more money.
So before I come to y'all, man, what about Steven from Django sitting on the end of the couch there, just taking it all in, as this man is going to say he's going to wipe all Black history out of all school. He sat up there and just nodded and wonder if that direct deposit hit today. I'm thinking about moving to Westchester. You know, UH, that whole scene, for him to sit up there and tell the world, tell the country, as well as the world, should he win again, you better not educate my white children on Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner, Frederick Douglass. The list goes on and on. Sojourner Truth,
Barack Obama,
the real big homie himself. And then you have Steven on the end of the couch, just like I said, just act like he don't even hear it.
I think that Trump is very unbelievable when it comes to a lot of things. The things that he says, obviously a bunch of words sound a bunch of nonsense. But one thing he will be, as he's absolutely clear, is about the cops and about the way that he's going to treat people. He's talked about 15 million immigrants being rounded up, put into some type of camps. He's talked about giving police total immunity so that they can shoot somebody and be back on the job the next day. You know what I mean? So when he talks about making sure that they don't fund liberal schools, you can believe he's going to do that because he's completely and totally transactional. He's not going to give them money. You know what I mean? He's, I'm just not going to give you any money. You can do what you want, but I'm not going to give you any money. How many of our school systems can really operate like that? So this guy has no good plans for America in any way. Nothing he has said in any of his speeches and any of these policies that I've heard him speak of. And I listen to everything. I listen to everyone. Obviously, I'll never vote for him, but I do listen to everything and everyone. And he has literally said nothing that is appealing to me as just a basic voter. Nothing. It's just, and I'll continue to say, it's just really a tragedy that we have someone who is really endangering our democracy has an actual shot at winning this election. It's crazy. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's funny to me, y'all. Fix News. I don't even know what dude's name is that works on the morning show.
The black girl?
Yeah, that was sitting on the end of the couch just eating up Trump's words like they was M&Ms. And then you got Harris Faulkner. They got the two. Then they used to have the dude that used to be on Fox Business, the big black dude that
with the glasses,
gray hair with the glasses. Yeah. So they got three black people who sit up there and just love getting money. Will sell your folks out for $1. When you see that cat sit up there, I wasn't expecting him to say anything, but this man, I don't know if I could have just just sat there and just had him disrespect my folk, my history, right in my dome like that, Lord.
That's because you have morals and a knowledge of self. I noticed on Fox and Friends, if you look really closely, they have white couches. And if you look extremely closely, you'll see that Trump is sitting on towels.
Mm-hmm.
That motherfucker will shit on himself and he will turn your white couch brown. So when I was watching it, I was thinking, he was thinking, fuck your couch, nigga, fuck your couch. Fuck your couch with the big ass diaper on. But like he was saying, just Candyland. Fix News is Candyland. And these butlers are sitting there thinking about their paycheck, man. You know what I'm saying? Anything, they'll say anything. They'll sit there and let Trump say all kinds of shit because they've already catapulted out of their square any fucking way. You know what I'm saying? They don't have no morals. They don't care nothing about us. You know, it's just all about when we got direct deposit hit, like you said, fam, I'm just sitting here waiting for my money to hit. And you could tell Trump he's not a serious person. He nuts the guy next to him. Maybe you can run the Department of Education when you retire. Like it's something, just some bullshit. Like it's a job at a register or some shit.
Right.
This is really important, man. You want to defund the Department of Education, and then you want to leave it up to the state? What if the state decides we're gonna bring slavery back? We're gonna let them go ahead and do that too?
State rights.
Yeah, this is just crazy shit. And like Don said, this guy is running for the president of the United States, the leader of the free world. How we got in this position, I don't know. But I know one thing: we better get out to the fucking polls and make sure he don't become the president, because there's gonna be some drastic changes on day one.
How many days we got, UH?
14 in the wake up, baby.
Motherfucking wake up.
Man, the stakes is high, man. I can't put it no more clearer than that, man. And you got fools like Lord Jamar talking about, I'm voting for Trump. Yeah, so the cop can blow your back out, and not have any consequences or repercussions behind it. Yeah, I'm voting for Trump.
Stupid.
Just ignorant shit. Now, speaking of ignorant, man, y'all have to forgive me. In the culture, man, we always about the culture. We're going to talk about the culture all the time in the soup. Please share, subscribe, comment down below. And hit that bell so you can get that soup when it's fresh off the stove. Man, shouts to all the people that's coming home from doing beds, man. It's always a good thing when you get to come home to your peoples, when you become a productive person and a productive citizen. And I'm saying that to say this, man. A hood legend was recently released back on the bricks. And who I'm talking about is Mr. Big Meech from BMF fame, right? I have on my TL, y'all know how I feel about my TL. I feel my TL is the hottest TL in the nation. You know what I mean? But I'm biased. The shouts were coming out fast and furious for Big Meech. And one that kind of took me aback was from the Kang himself. The Kang sent a welcome home shout to Big Meech. And the Kang I'm referring to is Lord James out there from the Lakers. He sent a big shout out, welcome home, Big Meech. So before we get into this a little bit more, let's go into some of these three.
Huge criminal enterprise stretching from Atlanta to Detroit and several other states. The story of Big Meech, who headed up the Black Mafia family, is also the source of a popular TV show that has been filmed right here in Atlanta. And this week, after serving nearly 20 years in prison for racketeering, drug dealing, and running a criminal enterprise, he is out of prison. 11 Alive's Erica Murphy has more on his release and his sordid past.
Demetrius Flannery and his brother, Terry, ran one of the country's largest drug operations during the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s. The pair had hundreds of employees, generated hundreds of millions of dollars, and even had a successful record label and magazine. But in 2006, the brothers were indicted in a federal RICO case originating out of Georgia.
BMF was the first group that was accused of being both a criminal organization and
a record label.
Attorney Josh Schiffers says Demetrius, also known as Big Meech, is highly regarded because he never took a deal or snitched on his co-conspirators.
And he went down. And when he went down, he and his brother were sentenced to 30 years in prison.
In 2020, Terry Flannery was released, and just this week, Big Meech was released from prison. He will serve the remainder of his sentence at a halfway house in Miami. Reporting from Atlanta, Erica Murphy, 11 Alive News.
I'm sure by now we all done heard the Big Meech snitching rumors. And I was going to save this for our live because I want to hear what y'all think like in real time. However, I figured I'd drop this video on it and then y'all get to, you know, a little update on why people call him a rat. And then we discuss it during our live link. So I'll go live about it another time. But for right now, we're going to get into why people call him Big Meech a rat. Now, it's being alleged that Big Meech has cooperated through what they call a third-party cooperation. Now, according to Google, third-party cooperation is when a friend or family member of a defendant helps the government with a criminal investigation or prosecution in exchange for a reduced sentence for the defendant. The third-party cooperator is not personally involved in providing substantial assistance to the government. In a nutshell, it's cooperating through someone else, so it may not seem like you're the one that said it or put them up to it, but it's you through someone else, basically. They're accusing a person who was involved with Big Meech, who was his POA, also known as his power of attorney, Tammy Cohen, Tammy Cohen, of being used to gather information on behalf of Big Meech for a reduced sentence in his federal drug case. Now, the person who was targeted is a man by the name of Dion Gatlin, aka Cuffy. Now, Cuffy was another kingpin from St. Louis who was tied to BMF. As y'all know, BMF stretched through many cities and states at the time of their reign, such as Atlanta, Detroit, New York, the list goes on. So we're going to get into the post by a college kid, shout out to them, that highlights Cuff's daughter. And she's been a pretty much big advocate of Big Meech, tell it on her father. Got all popular, whatever the case may be, but she's been an advocate of it. Now, Blue Da Vinci says Tammy is the same one who's also a producer of the TV show BMF, but she testified against Cuffy for a time reduction for Big Meech, and Big Meech allegedly knew, but he didn't want his name in the mix. Now, once again, did he put her up to it, or did she do it on her own because she wanted to protect Meech? Who knows? That's what we're here for. Now, Cuffy also alleged 50 Cent worked with Big Meech to keep him locked out of the deal that they did with Lionsgate to create the BMF movie. And I guess that's because in order to speak on BMF, they would have to include him because he played a substantial role. I don't know, y'all. I'm just trying to reach all possibilities, and I want to talk about it. I'm going to give y'all my opinion. We're going to go over his daughter speaking on the situation, him speaking on the situation, and then I want y'all to get in the comments and let us know what y'all think about everything. I'm going to also attach paperwork at the end, so make sure you watch this all the way through. I got it from Reddit, shout out to Reddit, and there you go. But make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button so we can get the video into the algorithm. And if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now, here's a post by College Kid.
So, yeah, man, like I said, Meech is back on the bricks. And I just found it so much like us to be out here glorifying this guy when this guy did more to destroy the black community than we can even conceive, we can even really know. What's your thoughts on the culture? That's how you say it. This is the most cultured thing ever for us to be shout out, welcome back, Big Meech. It's just, yeah, he's back out, but he ain't no hero.
I live in Atlanta, and I actually lived through the BMF era, the tail last basically 5 years of it. And I remember being at Strokers one time. Never forget this. And these dudes, like, let's go Strokers. I was at Strokers playing pool. That's my thing. I love to play pool with the strippers. But anyway, I got my little $100 limit, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Atlanta. I know how much money to spend. Yo, all of a sudden, 8 dudes in all black with 2 black garbage bags. Literally garbage bags. Big, remember the big black ones? The big black. 8 of them came in with 2 bags apiece full of money. 2 of them big black bags. Man, I finished my game, finished my drink. I'm gone, right? Yeah, because You know, when they came in, they had a whole different vibe. They put a whole different vibe in the situations. Now, I'm not a street dude, never claimed to be one. I know people who are in there. And obviously I heard rumblings of the whole BMF thing, but I remember just them just being like a big, like a boogeyman. And so when I actually found out what they were into and the level that their organization reached, I was like, wow, that's incredible that these guys, these young guys have managed to do that. But then you think about the consequences of their actions. Great, they look good, the cars and the girls and the money and the clubs, but what damage they really do to our community? You know what I mean? As a whole, if you're flipping 1,000 bricks a week, what percentage of that is going to black people? You know what I'm saying? And my thing is that the only people that I really know that literally still smoke crack are black. White people, Mexicans on meth, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that they don't smoke crack, but that's primarily a black drug. So that him doing those things was directly affecting us. Now, I understand that he had nice cars and big money and was doing this, that, and the other, but he was killing us, man. He was killing us. So I'm not going to sit back and say, because I'm like you, I don't want to ever see no black man locked down for no excessive amount of time. But he was a danger to us as a whole because he chose what? Capitalism over community. Right. I don't care how many jobs you gave. I don't care what moves y'all made or where y'all went or how you treated your crew. How many more people did you disaffect because you were black feeding them?
P double, man. The glorification, the parties, the outside of his family and close friends, there's no reason for me here in Nashville to be championing him getting released from jail. What is it? Why is it that we champion that as a culture?
I'm gonna put some of the responsibility on Curtis Jackson. When it comes to capitalism over community, Curtis decided on capitalism by putting this guy's life on the forefront on television and glorifying it to a point where a lot of people who didn't know much about him or only knew a little bit about Meech feel like they know a lot about him now because of stars and Curtis Jackson. So I'm gonna put a lot of the responsibility on him. I've been in trouble before, so I'm not going to judge this guy's character, but it's obvious the things that he did were detrimental to the black community. Like Don said, I'm not a street dude really either. I was the dude in the streets that was rocking polo. I just had my own. I was listening to Sting when they was listening to Run DMC. Not that I didn't Run DMC. I was listening to Men at Work, and we're listening to 14 Rock. You know what I'm saying? I was just a
real shit
dude in the hood.
Real shit.
So I seen a lot of the drug dealers, and they would hit me with, "Punkin, what you doing out here? Go back home. You don't need to be on these corners. You don't need to be this, that, and the third." So it's even though they were doing things that weren't right to make money, they knew that there were people in the neighborhood that weren't supposed to be out there. So back then, there were real OGs back then. But now you're glorifying on television a guy who may have had good character, but just got caught up in situations where he felt like he had to make money. And at the same time, he was detrimental to the community. So he chose capitalism over community. So it's just, I don't understand LeBron even coming out saying what he said. That wasn't smart at all. What are you doing? What are you showing other people? You're doing right by your own family, but when this guy comes out, you want to give him a shout. Now, if I was an aspiring drug dealer, I'd be like, shit, LeBron just shouted this man out. Let me get out here and do my thing too. So you got to be careful, man, when you're shouting people out or you're using people's lives to make money, because this is what happens. They get glorified. And Meech knew what he was doing. And Meech knew he was going to jail. He was like, you know what? I'm going to do what I got to do. And if I end up getting some time doing it, I'm going to go sit down. And it is what it is. Hopefully his life has changed. He in the group home now. He probably got to go out, look for a job, and come back. You know what I'm saying?
But
paper, you know what I'm saying?
But who's not gonna hire Big Meech?
Exactly. You know what I mean? But again, He's popular for reasons that he shouldn't be popular for.
And again, man, let the allegations and the allegedlys run wild, because now they allege that he's a snitch. After all these years, I'm gonna lighten my load by blowing this man in. I have no idea.
Pause.
I don't live that life. I grew up. We all grew up with street dudes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And we chose a different way than the way they chose. Not to say that the things that we did made us any better than them, because we all bumped our heads in different ways. But I just, like I said, I just found it puzzling. And like you said, you nailed it on the head, P, when you said it's a Curtis Jackson presentation is the reason why people are running around, everybody's screaming, "Welcome home, Big Meech," because had it not been for this TV show, he would not be as glorified as he is. And as we all know, he's coming to a podcast soon near you.
No doubt.
This is the latest and the greatest episode of Men of a Certain Age, The Soup. The next time we check in, man, we will be like 6 days.
7 in the wake up.
7 in the wake up from the election. And it's important, man, for y'all who support the show. We appreciate y'all supporting the show. It's important for y'all, man, to speak up. It's not easy to talk politics because it can lead anywhere nowadays. If you somewhere and you hear some nonsense being spewed, all you got to say is, "Nah, that ain't right. That ain't true," and then just keep it moving. You know what I mean? Because they have a mechanism that can debunk all of the nonsense. Like when Lord J said that she's not qualified to be president, you can say, Google what was Kamala Harris's political career,
right?
And it'll lay it all out for you. And if you look at that, you can look at a dude like Lord Jamar and say, "Man, you the clickbait king. You ain't saying no realisms in this, man.
Ain't no actual facts.
No artifacts to that." You know what I mean? So before we get out of here, man, what you got to say to the people, man?
Yo, it was funny, since we are 14 days in a wake up away from the election, I think it's important that we be conscious of our surroundings. And I say that we're conscious of our surroundings because a lot of times I hear, or even though I'm not as active on social media as I used to be, I see people talking about how bad things are. Oh, the world is doom and gloom, and the cat ate the dog, and the people are eating the cats, and so on and so forth. And I walk outside, and I go to work, and I go to the store. The supermarket's a little bit high. That's life. Everything's more expensive.
It's 2024.
Yeah, exactly. Everything's more expensive, period. But I don't see the American carnage that people are talking about. I don't see us doing worse than we were. I don't see people, excuse my language, fucked up. Really, I really just don't see it. I don't see what people are saying things are so bad. And believe me, my eyes are open, and I go up, down, east, north, south, west in the city. See it all. I really don't see this bad America, this suffering America that these 45ers and maggots are constantly talking about. I don't see it. So they're living in a bizarre world that is not ours, that is detached from reality, that has selected pieces of things that make it seem like it's a good place, but it's not. And we're not living in that world. So I say all this to, if you haven't voted yet, the two of us that could vote have already voted. D's definitely voting. If you haven't, don't sit on the sidelines. I know it's a little bit too late to get registered, but if you do have a vote, go vote, and go vote for us as a people, for us as Americans, because America is beautiful.
I second that here.
Yes, sir.
Donald J. Trump does a masterful job of making it seem like this is fucking Beirut. P Double, man, what you got for the people?
Nice and short and sweet, man. Think of this country as an automobile. Sometimes it breaks down. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you might get someone, if you're broken down at the side of the road as a country, they'll come and fix the car for you or get you going. And you may feel some type of feelings for that person because, you know what, they helped me with this car. but you never forget the person who actually bought you the car. You know what I'm saying? Stop being loyal to your actual feelings. Be loyal to the sacrifices that people made for this country to be what it is.
That's right.
That's for men of a certain age.
Here,
Yes,
man,
sir.
all I'm going to say is this, man. It's late in the fourth quarter, man. We ain't at the 2-minute warning yet, but it's getting late.
Getting close.
We gotta hunker down, maintain, and make it do what it do. For P, for UH, Donnell, I'm Fro. It's the same old soup, man. We just reheating it. Until next time.
Peace.
Peace.
Fight for democracy.
Vote, y'all. Vote.